Well, this morning at 9 o'clock, I was heading out the door, jumped in my truck, and was going to take you all to the estuary and ride the tide in and see how far up it could get and maybe get around the point and see what all was out there. You know, we've got so much bird wildlife out there. It's a sanctuary, so it's quite beautiful. And this is the first time I've learned of a spot where I could launch my canoe at there. And I was heading out there this morning and the battery in my truck just took a dump. So I've replaced it and now it's nearly 1 o'clock and I'm heading out the estuary. Problem with that is I've missed the incoming tide. Now the tide's on the outgoing side. It can get quite low, quite muddy at times. So I'm kind of taking a chance, but I'm gonna go ahead and paddle upstream. And if the water starts to get bad, then I'll get with it and head back. But we'll see how it goes. The exciting part about that is I'll be able to see what the tide did bring in. So low tide is at 6:30 tonight. So I've still got, you know, a fair amount of hours of slack tide in the area that I'm in. So we'll see what we can get. And it's about a 20-minute drive to get there. So here we go. All right, I've arrived in the South Slue Estuary area. And you can see the tide's in, but it is moving out pretty rapid. I think I might have to roll this seat back just a little bit more to give it a little bit more maneuverability. It's balanced really nice for a single person right now, but I have a feeling that when I put another person in the front here, that could all change. She may end up nose heavy. And nose light's not too bad. Nose heavy can be really bad if you're in some rough water. If I reach way back, it turns a lot sharper. It's going to be a lot more natural. Well, we're at a fork in the creek here. Off to the left, looks like it goes over to a canyon area. Pretty sure up ahead that way is straight on, but you know, with the way the tide's moving, it don't have much time. I think I'm gonna shoot to that canyon over there. Didn't bring my straw hat and I'm going right into the sun, so let's see if we can do that. I feel like Austin Powers right now. This canoe is much more stable than my other one though. Standing, my other one is very tricky, and I'm standing up right now, no problem. All right, all turned around now. Let's head on back out. All right, so that was a dead end. If I would have had my smaller canoe, I probably went in there a little more. But this big beast is kind of hard to turn. Definitely got to move the seat back. I guess technically I could make it around this, but the tide's going out, so kind of what's the point? Look at that big old fungus right there. That's a huge fungus. Almost looks like a beehive, but it's not, it's a fungus. Pretty cool, but like I said, end of the road here. As you can see, finally got a decent spot to turn around this big old boat. So I'm gonna turn around, get me a little snack, take a break, and ride the tide back. As peaceful as it is out here, I gotta say, it's making me, the hunting season with all the gunfire is making me remember December 2nd on the terrorist attack on San Bernardino. At the time, I was working at Loma Linda University Medical Center, and so was my sister. And our departments were called into action that day so we could help secure the hospital, especially since as this attack was going on, we were under a bomb threat. So it made matters even more fun. We had agencies, every agency at our hospital. And then we had wounded officer, and it was quite the fiasco. It was one heck of a day, but my position was to be up on top of our parking structure and overwatch, just to keep an eye on everything going on and communicate with our security and the sheriff's department onto what I might have saw. There goes my GoPro battery. And I remember being up that high, I could hear the gunfire when they did find the two people in their car, and the gunfight that ensued between the two of them and all of the other officers that responded. It sounded a lot like this. I was up high in an open area, and you could just hear the gunfire, and you knew it wasn't too far away. It wasn't directed at me, but the same token, it really brought a real sense of reality of that day. And you don't realize how those kind of things affect you until several weeks and days, sometimes later, and in some cases years later, when you're out here in the middle of a pristine wilderness, and the thing that enters your mind is a horrible day that two terrorists attacked a bunch of fine county workers who were just trying to plan out how to help special needs people. Kind of makes you wonder sometimes, don't it? But anyway, makes me really happy that I'm an American, and the way we handled things, and the way that the hospital and the community that I was involved in at the time came together and made things happen. God bless America. There goes a grouse just now. Okay, I decided to take advantage of something. It's not very deep right here. There's a big old sandbar with the tide going out. So I'm actually gonna go and put this boat above it and stand up in this canoe. Kind of see where the best weight is to put this seat. This way, if I do dump, everything is attached. But I can just step out, hopefully, not get too wet. Safety first. Never know, knock myself out. End up floating out here. I already know one guy we lost up in here. Don't want to be another. All right, we went a little too shallow here. All right, here we go. Okay, standing up. Okay, we are floating very nose high. Yeah, definitely just a few inches. really want my center of gravity. Yeah, about right where my feet are should be the back of the seat. Man, this thing is so much more stable than my other canoe though. Yeah, right about there is where my weight needs to be. Got the distance of my shoe. All right. These trees I'm going under, I had to avoid on the way up. Now they're barely where they're going to touch my hat. All these old pylons, still remnants of the old logging days. This flat area right here must have been a great place for them to cut the logs and float them over to the main flow at high tide and get them all out down to Charleston Bay, which is where this dumps out at. And there's the truck. Well, I made it back to the truck now, but I think I'm gonna go under the bridge and kind of fart around here while I still got some water.
It's a place, it's a feeling, it's where I wanna be. It's a star-filled night on a moonlit sky, deep inside of me. It's a one-lane road where I belong, just another small town we call home.
Around that next bend ahead would be Charleston Harbor. And had I gotten here at the right time today, that's where I was planning on getting to before I turned around. But with the tide not in my favor, I'm floating at about 1 foot of water right now. So it'd be pretty smart if I turned around, headed back. I should have a big enough channel to paddle back in. But earlier the wind was in my favor and now it's at my back. Time to start to paddle against Mother Nature. A lot of the guys I watch on YouTube that are into canoeing and camping and tripping and outside stuff like I am, yeah, I've been noticing they've been saying, oh, I'm hanging up my canoe for the season. Man, that sucks to live somewhere where you have to do something like that. I'm lucky enough to be out here on the coast that we may have a certain amount of bad days of weather where, you know, you just don't want to go out because it's too cold. But then you have days like today where, you know, it's 65 out right now and the sun's out and the water's so calm. The wind doesn't blow until the evening. You know, it's kind of a nice way to go. But then tomorrow, could be raining and storming, so you know it's kind of nice to be out here and live here because you know you can't really plan your adventures here this time of year. You got to take them as you get them. So got some nice weather. Oh my goodness, a big giant egret. Let's see, can we get him? Maybe. But anyway, with all the gunfire today, it's been kind of tough to see any animals or bird life. So, just been kind of paddling along, reflecting my thoughts, enjoying my time out here. The sad thing is how I found out about this area. Was, the search that I was on about a month ago. We came out here looking for a gentleman that was missing for a week and we never did locate him. This area is highly tidal influenced, as you might have guessed from watching this video. So if you were to land in the water here, odds are you'd be at sea within a day if our local Dungeness crab and freshwater crab didn't do the job before you got there. But either case, a wonderful area, very remote. You can obviously tell that a lot of hunters know about it, but that's all right. I like hunting. I'm into hunting myself, and I haven't seen anybody. Heard a few voices here and there, but you're not supposed to hunt where I'm at, so I'm not just screwing up anybody's hunt here. In fact, I'm probably making their hunt a little better, because I keep scaring up all these birds and wildlife, and they're all heading up the river, and then I hear gunshots. So they must be hunting geese or duck. But either case, I'm having a blast, and hope they are too.
Yeah, for better or for worse, I'm country first.
Mr. Kicklighter's dog, my brother, a couple came post. Fist fighting, a fishing, ripping brim out the same hole. Bites and misses, some too little, we had to let go. We were building memories even though we didn't know. Worked with Pops all summer, he taught us to call him Rick. We mixed all the mortar, built the scalpels and stacked the bricks. Straw hats gave us shade while we worked in the oven. That southern sun unforgiving, I wouldn't trade it for nothing. A lifetime passed in what seems like a blink.
All right, so I'm back at the truck now. And if you remember, when I started, the water was about right there. All that was underwater. So, still got another hour to go before it's at its lowest. But I gotta come back here when that tide's right and get into that big open area. I think it'd be beautiful. Well, there's another trip in the books. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Hope you voted. Take care.
The small town we call home. Yeah.